So welcome back. This is lecture 3 of standard costing and variance analysis. And this is for CMA Intermediate June 2022 attempt. Okay, so this lecture will hold good for both your paper 8 and paper 10, group 1 and group 2. Okay. Right. So there'll be some extra part in your paper 10, okay, which we will be taking separately. Okay, so this part right now, which we are doing now, is common for both. Okay, so हम कर रहे हैं lecture 3 of standard costing. So first of all, I'll just take you through advantages and disadvantages of standard costing very quickly. Okay. So now these questions are very, very important. Okay, so advantages, disadvantages. These things, they come, and if they come, it is like you write correct points, you will get full marks. So if say they have asked for 5 advantages, you get 5 marks. Okay, so normally 5 or 6 would do. ठीक है, 5 या 6 advantages या disadvantages आपको आते हैं तो more than enough. ये questions को कभी छोड़ना नहीं चाहिए, ठीक है? तब के तब ध्यान में रख लेना चाहिए. बाद में आपको time नहीं मिलेगा ये करने में. You will not get time to read through advantages, disadvantages, all that later on. Now itself, when you read, just remember and try to jot down 5 or 6 points in your brain straight away. Okay, in short sentences. Okay, so advantages are it establishes yardsticks against which actual efficiency is measured. Okay, yardstick means it shows how good it should be. Okay, what the actual should be like this. So this is your yardstick, okay, measure, and say your actual cost is coming out like this in red, what I'm showing. Now you can measure this against the standard, right? It is a yardstick. When you measure your height, but the height is sometimes in our house in walls and all, we measure 5 foot, 5 foot 5, that we put the measures, right? And we go and stand, we measure ourselves. Okay, so that is a yardstick. Okay, anything which is a standard against which you measure is a yardstick. Okay, so in those what we do is like we used to do is like some cousin or some elder whom we thought were the tallest at that point of time. Okay, later on we came to know that like there were others who were still taller, but children used to think that normally they think that their elder brother or sister, they are the tallest, right? So they are the yardstick for them. They want to become as tall as that. Maybe in future they will become taller, but that is the yardstick. That's your goal. Okay, so chalo, take it. Too much talk on this. Establishes yardsticks against which actual efficiency is measured. Okay, easy point. Remember it. Standards provide motivation to work with greater effort. Okay, so if you know that this is the standard, so most of the employees, they are self-driven. Okay, and so take our think of it from our studies point of view. Okay, if you feel that whatever goal you have achieved, you are closer to it. So your target is to complete 10 chapters. Okay, and now you are already in your 6th chapter. You feel you are closer to it, then your pace will increase. Okay, psychologically, even when we go out, when we come home, and when we are walking our way back, ठीक है, जब बाहर जाते हैं वापस घर आते हैं हम लोग, ठीक है, जब घर पास में होता है तो ऑटोमेटिकली हमारा स्पीड बढ़ जाता है. Okay, our speed automatically increases, isn't it, psychologically? So if what is the meaning? If the goal is in sight, okay, then your speed, your performance naturally improves with that. Okay, it provides motivation to work with greater effort for achieving the standard. Okay, most of the good employees, they would want to achieve the standard, okay, whatever the goal has been given to them. This increases efficiency and productivity. So basically in this point, what you have to write is, okay, इसमें आपको ये लिखना है, it provides motivation to work with greater effort for achieving the standard. Okay, बस इतना, this much is enough. Okay, Himanshu, so you haven't missed much. I was just showing others like relative importance of chapters and all that. Okay, so we have just started, and now we have started with advantages of standard costing. I was showing the advantages. Okay, so we
So
should.
this is the first topic. So this is the first topic.
Okay, okay, right. So, right. Then next is when standards are set. Okay, simplification and standardization of products and all are affected. Okay, you're setting standards, right? Then you are what you are doing is you are seeing each thing. What should be the standard for this? So automatically you are studying the work methods, and naturally it will result in simplification, standardization. Correct. So that's this point. So waste of time materials is automatically eliminated, not when you are trying to control them as such, but when you are even trying to set a standard and you are studying them for that. When you're studying them, automatically you will discover inefficiencies. Okay? That's what this is saying. Costing procedure is simplified. So when standards are set, this is after that. Okay, everything is done based on standards. So there is reduction in paperwork. So there is one standard. Based on that, you do like we had discussed earlier that all uh, your stores ledger things and all that you give it out. I mean, um, basically your material issues is what I'm talking about. Okay, so there's a little bit of disturbance around today. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is for stores in stores ledger and all, when you issue materials out, you do it only at standard cost. So you don't have to find the balance every time. Okay, so that's what that is one example. Many other things. Okay, there is reduction in paperwork. Okay, cost is readily available for fixation of selling price. Okay, so for all these things, because you are using standard costing, right? Standard cost you are using. You have a readily available cost, whether you want to fix selling price or you want to, uh, you know, see whether something is applicable or not applicable. Okay? Any decision you want to take. Pricing of interdepartmental transfers. Okay, so transfer pricing is there in your paper 10. Okay, group 2. So in that we had done transfer pricing. So one method was at standard cost. Okay, so it helps in pricing of interdepartmental transfers as well. Okay, closing stocks also just now I said, right, issue and all that. Okay, then standard costing can be used for budgetary control and all. So budgetary control is basically what you are establishing a budget. Okay, and along with budget, if you know the standards also, it will help you frame budget better. Correct. Okay. Facilitates delegation of authority and fixation of responsibility. So delegation of authority and fixation of responsibility. So when you are a standard costing system is in use, so for each of the variants, there is someone who is responsible. Okay. So if there is an inefficiency in something, there will be someone who is responsible. So one theory of management is that for anything, you have to make a human being responsible. Okay. If anything good or bad happens, okay, if you can make a human being responsible, the chances of it getting addressed becomes much, much more. If for anything you have got 2 or 3 people who are, excuse me, if there are 2 or 3 people who are responsible, then what will happen? A will think, okay, B will take care. B will think C will take care, and no one will take care in the end. So there has to be a fixation of responsibility. And in standard costing, there is always a fixation of responsibility. And then management by exception. It helps in management by exception. Okay, this question will come always. So standard costing also helps in management by exception. Budgetary control also helps in management by exception. Management by exception means the top management will only take note of the exceptional things. things which are very bad. Okay. So for example, if you've got 5 lines of business. Okay. Is my voice still low or is it fine now? आवाज आ रहा है आप लोगों को सबको? Voice is fine? Okay. ठीक है, तो यहाँ management by exception is what I was telling you. What is management by exception? Okay. So say there is there are 5 kinds of 5 things of which the management is interested in: A, B, C, D, E. Okay, 5 project costs which they are interested in, for example. Okay, so here say C is going down by 65%. Okay, all these are kind of within 10%. Okay, either up or down, best. But C is down by 65%. So C will be reported to them, to the top management, because it is an exception in this. Okay, it is an exception. Okay, so remember that exception can be positive or negative exception. So if you have done a very good job, we again say you have done exceptionally well, right? The same is for negative also. So this is now because of standard costing, it is possible for us to do management by exception. So that's why the top management is interested in standard costing. Okay, so they are, for them, like, because these costs are, everything is available, ready comparison can be made. Okay, and whatever is really bad, that will be highlighted to them. Okay, so it helps or aids management by exception. Okay, provides means for achieving cost reduction. Definitely you have some standard. Okay, so which will definitely help you achieve cost reduction. Standard costing facilitates the integration of accounts. Okay, so when this is we're talking about integration of cost and financial accounts. Okay, so if integration happens, then there is no problem of reconciling. Okay, it helps in integration, and you can do away with reconciliation because of that. Okay, because you are using only one cost. Okay, so what are the limitations? Let us see. It's difficult to establish standard. Okay, it's not like so easy. You have to really study in detail. You should have the right kind of experts. Okay, so in course of time, what happens is, okay, standards become rigid. Now, so you just think about it from this way. Okay, here say, now this is your home. Okay, and you are walking from here. You see your home. ठीक है, आप यहाँ से आ रहे हो walking. You see your home. तो आपका पेस बढ़ जाता है. Okay, it will help overall. But अगर standards are wrongly set, आप इतने दूर हुआ, you are so far, you're not even able to see your home. So you will just drag your way around, right, slowly. So it will be counterproductive if standards are not well set. Okay, standards have to be set properly. Many times it will become rigid. So standards too are based on certain things, right? So if those things change, the standards also have to be updated. If it is not updated, then standards will become, they give wrong values, and that will have a very bad psychological effect on the employees. Okay. Then you have, next point is inaccurate, unreliable, out of date standards. Okay, They do more harm than benefit, as I told you. Okay, they create adverse psychological effects. If it is set at a high level, even the normally whatever he would have achieved, on seeing that okay, this I'm never going to achieve, he'll think and he'll become even more slow. That is possible, correct? And it does happen in our daily life, if you see. Okay, and so and then next is it may not be suitable for small concerns because it is a costly thing. Okay, and then uh, their production conditions and all that. For standard costing, the way you produce that also has to remain standard, right? For smaller concerns, sometimes they'll do this way, sometimes they'll do that way. Okay, for them it is not suitable, and then it is costly also. And even if they do it, they will not have enough time and resources to keep on updating it. Okay, so not suitable for small concerns. Just remember 5 points out of this. Okay, whichever 5 you feel that you can remember well. Okay, it will be costly for industries dealing with non-standardized products. So where your products are such that, like in job costing, each job is different. So then you cannot set standards for such varying production. Okay, every time. So for such industries, it is not applicable. Okay. Lack of interest on the part of management will make it ineffective. This is one easy point. Always remember this. Okay, so these are some points of advantages and limitations of standard costing. Some more theory we'll do little later. Okay, as I said, I'll just mix and match with your problems. 5 or 6 points, remember. When it comes, it is say you get a 5 marks question, then 5 marks straight away you get. It's like maths basically. Okay, so don't leave these things. As I said, you might not get time again. Today itself, just go home, see, pick 5 or 6 points and just remember. Don't learn the whole sentences. Just go for the gist of that. Just remember 5 or 6 sentences. That's all. So we had done variance analysis problems and all. Okay, I told you what is the variances, various types of variances are what? Material cost variance is the major variance. Okay, so before you compare standard with actual, comparison of standard with actual and the difference, taking out the difference, that is called variance analysis. Okay, कंपैरिजन ऑफ स्टैंडर्ड विद एक्चुअल और उनका जो डिफरेंस निकालते हैं वो आपका वेरिएंस एनालिसिस है. कभी भी ये याद रखना है आपको, व्हाट डू यू हैव टू मैच. ठीक है, ऑलवेज मैच द आउटपुट नॉट द इनपुट. ठीक है, मैच द आउटपुट ऑफ द टू. तो आप वेरिएंस एनालिसिस तभी करेंगे जब आपका आउटपुट जो है, एक्चुअल में आपका आउटपुट आया है 50 kgs, तो इसका 50 kgs का आप स्टैंडर्ड निकालेंगे, 50 kg आउटपुट का, और तब आप मैच करेंगे. सो व्हाट यू हैव टू डू फॉर वेरिएंस एनालिसिस, कभी भी याद रखना है, मैच द आउटपुट्स नॉट द इनपुट्स. ठीक है, हो सकता है कि ये 50 kgs बनाने के लिए स्टैंडर्ड में इनपुट बताया गया 65 kgs. ठीक है, 65 kgs बताया गया और एक्चुअल में आपको लगा 70 kgs. ठीक है, तो आप वेरिएंस एनालिसिस करने से पहले आप क्या करेंगे, दोनों का आउटपुट सेम होना चाहिए. ठीक है, तो वहां फॉर दैट पॉइंट देन यू विल फाइंड द वेरिएंस. ओके, दैट्स द फर्स्ट स्टेप. ऑलवेज रिमेंबर मटेरियल कॉस्ट वेरिएंस is the total variance. Okay, then you divide it into material price variance and material usage variance. Price variance is due to price difference in price. Usage variance is because say here like more raw material has been used, okay, than is necessary. Okay, that is one reason. So that is called a yield variance. Okay, you call it yield or sub usage variance. Okay, now your yield and sub usage basically always will give you the same answer. Okay, because it is the same thing, only mode of computation is different. For sub usage, you see how many materials you have put. Okay, based on that you calculate. And for yield variance, okay, whatever yield you have got, no, so based on that you calculate. Okay, I'll tell you an example later on. Okay, so basically both are the same things. One, you are calculating based on inputs. Second, you are calculating based on outputs. Okay, both measure whatever amount has been wasted. Okay, here for example, in this example, यहाँ पे मैं बोल रहा हूँ यहाँ पे 70 kgs चाहिए था, स्टैंडर्ड बोल रहा है 65 चाहिए था करके, correct? So the what is wastage? 5, correct? So that will be a part of your yield variance. Okay, so यहाँ पे जो है this is the input. I'm talking from an input point of view, so I'll call it sub usage variance. Okay, same thing when I talk from an output point of view, okay, then it will become yield variance. ठीक है, उसका एग्जांपल मैं आपको बताऊंगा बाद में, you will understand. Always both are same because both are same things only. The mode of computation is different. That's चलिए usage में one is yield variance and one is called mix variance. Sometimes what happens for preparing a product, you will have to mix two products. So if you have to mix two products in this 40%, 60%, but actually you have mixed in 45% and 55%. Okay, even if there is no change in price of the material, still this will give rise to a change in cost, correct? Because each material cost will be different. Okay, so this change in ratio of putting material gives rise to mix variance. ये आ गया आपका mix variance. ये आपके मेन वेरिएंसेस है. मैंने ऐसे क्विकली आपको एक ये दे दिया. हमने एक प्रॉब्लम किया भी था. आई एम श्योर you would have seen that. Okay, this is one small problem which we had done last time. आज मैं आपको I'll just show you one bigger problem. Okay. Okay, so what does this say? Let us read this problem. Standard quantity and standard price of raw material required for 1 unit of product A. Output is product A. And for 1 unit, okay, this is the standard quantity and this is the standard price per unit. Okay, and you have to put two materials X and Y. So in cases like this only you get mixed variance also. Okay, when you are putting two things. Okay, so chalo, this is for 1 unit of material. Actual status, actual is material X, they had put 1100 kgs and they had paid total of this much. So if you divide total upon 1100, you will get this per unit amount. This one standard, whatever we have, this for actual you will get by doing 3410 upon 1100 or and 3960 upon 180. Okay, so what is the total here? So 2900 they have put. Okay, actual production was 5000 units. So what I said is always match the output. Okay, 5000 is the, sorry, 500 is the actual production. So what I will do is now we'll have to prepare a table of standard and actual. Okay, so here, so this is for 1 unit. So for 1 unit amount will be what? I'll have to multiply 3 into 2. Okay, this will be amount for this and this will be amount for this. Okay, so I'll get a total amount per unit is 14. Yes. Okay, for 1 unit if I need. Okay, so but here now for 500 units. Okay, let us calculate for 500 units. Okay, for 1 unit of product, for 1 unit of product, we have to put 2 kg. Correct? Let me just take this out for now. We don't need it immediately. Okay. So यहाँ पे 1 यूनिट आउटपुट के लिए आपको 2 किलो डालना पड़ रहा है. ठीक है, 1 किलो आउटपुट के लिए 2 किलो इनपुट डालना पड़ रहा है, डबल. So for 500, how much you will have to put? Double, 1000. Correct? Similarly here for 1 unit you have to put 4 kg. Okay, so for 500, how much you will have to put? 2000, 500 into 4. Okay, so understood how I got 1000 and 2000. Okay, so now let us just go a little down. Here we already have a table, so we'll use that. ठीक है, यहाँ पे आप देखोगे ये हो गया 1000, right? Just now we calculated 500 into 2. This is standard data. Okay, now we are preparing standard data for 500 units. Okay? Only then we will be able to compare with this actual data as it is for 500 units. Okay, the second is 2000. Then this 3 and 2 is as given in the problem. This 3 and this 2. Okay. अब now multiply कर देंगे. 1000 into 3 gives you 3000 like that. Okay. And you got standard table of 7000. So now we knew that if I put 3000 kg overall, 1000 plus 2000, 3000. Okay. Then value would be 7000, and this should have been the standard for this actual data. This should have been the standard for ये वाले actual data के लिए ये standard होना चाहिए, ठीक है? इसके साथ कंपेयर करेंगे. अब ये जो actual data है यहाँ पे, इसी को हम यहाँ पे डालेंगे. Okay, we are just arranging it, that's all. और कुछ नहीं कर रहे. जो दिया है वो डाल रहे हैं. This two we are putting here, ठीक है? And price how I got 3410 upon 1100, that you will get 3.1. ठीक है, और ये तो आपको दिया ही है ऑलरेडी. ठीक है, just actuals I have just drawn it down based on what we are given. अब हमारे पास सामने टेबल है. Okay, we will do variance analysis based on this table. Okay, based on this table we will do variance analysis. So let's just see what all they have asked, what are the variances they want. Calculate variances only, so all whatever variances we get. Okay, otherwise in exam, if they have asked for a specific variance, you don't have to calculate all others. Okay, just do whatever they have asked. ठीक है, so now चलिए इसका ये मैं बताता हूँ आपको. Formula and all चलो छोड़ो, ठीक है? We already know the formula, right? So लेकिन मैं आपको भी ये जो पहला प्रॉब्लम है हमारा, I'll tell you कैसे हम वेरिएंसेस निकालते हैं, ठीक है? जस्ट बेस्ड ऑन डेटा, कि डेटा को आप क्या उसके ऊपर से फिर फॉर्मूले हम बना लेंगे. इट वोंट बी अ बिग डील. यहाँ पे मैं कोई फॉर्मूला यूज नहीं करूंगा बेसिकली. ओके, आई विल जस्ट शो यू कि इसको कैसे वेरिएंसेस निकालेंगे, देन वी विल पुट इट इन फॉर्मूले. वही चीजों को मैं डाल के बताऊंगा. ओके, सो चलिए सबसे पहले है, अब हम बोल रहे हैं ये आपका स्टैंडर्ड है एंड ये आपका एक्चुअल है, करेक्ट? So this difference between 7000 and 7370. Okay, 7000 minus 7370 is 370. ठीक है, कौन सा ज्यादा है? एक्चुअल ज्यादा है ना, तो एक्चुअल ज्यादा है तो एडवर्स बोलते हैं उसको. ओके, so this is material cost variance basically. 7000 minus 7370, it's called as material cost variance. ठीक है, तो ये देखिए आप, you have the formula. Standard cost minus actual cost is your material cost variance. Okay, so now अब हम दूसरा एक चीज मैं बताता हूँ आपको, going ahead with other things. Okay, so सबसे पहले see, if you see this data actuals, ये जो डेटा है ना, इसमें ये सब these prices are actual prices, ठीक है? And this ratio is little different. Okay, ये हमारा जो standard ratio से different है, so we know that there is a mixed variances, ठीक है? And this price is different than this price. सबसे पहले हम क्या करेंगे? Okay, you will just take the same thing, ये actual data ले लेना है, ठीक है? इसको यहाँ लिख रहा हूँ, ये as it is लिखा है. अब देखेंगे same figures. Okay, इसमें what I have done is इसमें ये भी this is 3.1, right, and this is 2.2. Total is 7370 7370, correct. ठीक है, ये हो गया आपका जस्ट बेस्ड ऑन प्राइस. अगर ये मैंने एक्चुअल डेटा जो खरीदा है, ठीक है, वट एवर आई बॉट हियर, had I bought with standard prices, had I bought with standard prices, क्या होगा? This will become 3, this will become 2. ठीक है. Now can I say this difference between these two, this one and this one, this difference is only because of change in price. ठीक है. Actually had I went ahead and bought the same data, ठीक है, ये जो सेम मटेरियल्स मैंने खरीदा होता ये, लेकिन मैंने सही रेट में अगर खरीदा होता, so I would have bought this. Okay, but now I have got it at 7370 because of increase in price. So price variance is 6900 minus 7370. ठीक है, so how much it is? Minus 470. ठीक है, समझ में आ गया price variance. Another way of now calculating using formula is here. This is your price variance. Just go for standard price minus actual price. ठीक है, individually. This is standard price minus actual price. You'll get 0.10 minus 0.1. Okay, you'll get minus 0.1 and multiply by actual quantity. This minus 0.1 into 1100. Whatever you will get. Similarly, next you do 2 minus 2.2, you will get minus 0.2 multiply by this actual quantity. And when you add both of this, you will get the same value, which is 6900 minus 7370. Ab chahe to you can try and see. So what you have to do is just do what I'm saying. Okay, use this formula of price variance. Standard price minus actual price. Just take this minus actual price. Okay, what you are getting is minus 0.1. Okay, minus 0.1 into actual quantity you have to do. Okay, how much you get? Minus 0.1 into actual quantity. Minus 110. Got everyone? साथ में करते जाओ आप लोग, तो कुछ याद ध्यान में नहीं आएगा बिल्कुल. Okay, try to do it with me. And here what will come? 2 minus 2.2, which is 0 minus 0.2. So it will be minus 0.2 into actual quantity, which is this. Okay, add both of this. ठीक है, ये हो गया 470. हमने ये बोला था यहाँ पे 6900 minus 7370 will be minus 470. ओके, करेक्ट. तो अब जो है, ठीक, ये आपका आ गया एमपीवी आ गया. ओके, व्हाट वाज योर एमसीएल राइट हियर. ओके, यहाँ पे लिखता हूँ. एमसीवी क्या आया था हमारा? दिस माइनस दिस, करेक्ट. इट वाज 370. बिना साइन के लिखना है और बाजू में ए लिख देना बस. एडवर्स है तो ए, फेवरेबल है तो एफ. ठीक है, एमसीवी इज 370 एडवर्स एंड नाउ एमपीवी इज कितना? 470 एडवर्स. ठीक है, ये हो गया. नाउ देखिए, नाउ जस्ट फोकस. ठीक है, ये पार्ट बहुत ये क्रिटिकल है. Now this is your standard data. ठीक है, now here we have a standard data of actual in standard prices. So the price variance is now eliminated here. Okay, so now the difference between this, ये 3000 का हमारा जो standard है, whatever is our standard of 3000, ठीक है, minus this. ठीक है, this difference is your usage variance. ठीक है, यहाँ पे हम क्या देख रहे हैं? Difference between your 7,000 and 6,900. We have eliminated price variance, or now we have got actuals at standard price. Okay, so इसमें और इसमें जो difference आ रहा है, that should be because of usage, correct? So 7,000 minus 6,900. What will it be? Adverse or favorable? बताओ. 7,000 minus 6,900. Is it adverse or favorable? Tell me.
Favorable.
Favorable. Good. Okay, it's a favorable variance. Why favorable? Because your actual is less than standard. If actual is less than standard, then we stand to gain, right? So it is favorable. So this is your usage variance. Now, how MCV got calculated is Himanshu. When we made the table for 500 units, okay, we matched 500 units output, and we got standard data for 500 units was this much, and actual was this much. So the whole difference, the total difference between 7,000 and 7,370, that is your MCV. Okay. So चलिए ये हो गया ये. Then now अब हमको अब क्या बताना है? आपका मिक्स एंड यील्ड वेरिएंस. करेक्ट. यील्ड इज लाइक सब यूसेज वेरिएंस की बात कर रहे हैं. ओके, आउट इनपुट से हम निकालेंगे. ठीक है. सो नाउ योर फॉर गेटिंग योर मिक्स एंड यील्ड वेरिएंस. ठीक है. अब यहाँ आपने 2900 was the output you had put here. ठीक है. Suppose in standard, now I am breaking up my 3,000 का जो standard है, इसको मैं दो पार्ट में break कर रहा हूँ. Here just pay attention. ठीक है. ये हम अगले इसमें करेंगे. So this, in this part, what I am saying is this standard data, I am just breaking it up into two things. One is for 2,900 units, another one for 100 units. ठीक है. तो मैं क्या करूंगा? तो मैं ये बोलूंगा जो 100 यूनिट्स जो आता है वो तो पूरा उड़ गया. Okay, that will be yield variance. That is sub usage variance. Okay, and this 2,900 I'll compare with this. ठीक है. ये आपका actual है. Okay, this is your actual based on standard prices. So if I compare this 2,900 on standard with this, that will be because of change in this mix. Okay, there will be no other reason than this for that variance. Okay, we'll continue this discussion in the next one. So you can just log back, I think immediately, no problem. So you can log in back just now. Okay, please log back.